万门大学的小伙伴们，大家好，我是兰菲利博士，是莱特研究大学的应用神经科学教授。20世纪的著名心理学家阿里克伯恩发明了交往分析。那么交往分析告诉我们，人跟人之间的沟通其实并没有我们想象的那么简单。交往分析有很多不同类型的交往，其中之一是三角句。接下来我们看智导师告诉我们如何去面对三角句所带来的问题。
Do you ever find yourself in your relationships kind of complaining about other people or blaming someone, maybe some whining or nagging? Maybe just sometimes your friends complain about their boyfriends or their girlfriends or their boss or the weather or the pollution or the smog or the traffic. Do you have a lot of whining and complaining around you? If so, you're in good company. Most people do. Do you also sometimes feel like maybe you're the only grown-up, the only one who takes responsibility and does things, or you always make sure things happen and other people don't? Any of these could be a sign that you are in the drama triangle, that you are in a never-ending kind of drama triangle. The drama triangle is a really interesting thing. It's something from transactional analysis through Eric Berne and his student Stephen Karpman, who realized that most of us play involuntarily these different roles that create a lot of drama in our lives and never really take us anywhere. It's kind of like the psychological equivalent of the Bermuda Triangle, where this interactive pattern and people get stuck and they're trying to get their needs met by assuming a role of a victim or a persecutor or a rescuer. And they avoid taking appropriate responsibility. But let's look, what does a drama triangle look like and why is it a problem? So think about this, like, you feel sorry for yourself sometimes, maybe because you aren't getting what you need or want, or you're feeling burdened, or that things are really hard. Then you're assuming that victim position, which is a very common one. I actually feel sorry for myself before I even wake up in the morning. My alarm goes off and I go, oh no, so early, I want more sleep. I'm already feeling like I'm not responsible, that someone's kind of punishing me. But I'm the one that set my alarm, and I'm already in drama and a victimhood right from the very beginning of my day sometimes. So that could be if you're not feeling like you're not getting your needs met in some way, or someone's doing it to you, or you're not feeling like you're in control, or you feel sorry for yourself, you're maybe unconsciously assuming this role of the victim. But then if you're not feeling your needs are getting met by your friends, for example, and then you complain, you unload all these complaints on your friend and tell them how bad they are and they're not meeting your needs and you're unhappy, now you become the persecutor, someone who's blaming and dumping the responsibility on another. Or your friend or your partner responds to you when you do that. I said, well, you're crazy, or what's wrong with you? Or I didn't do anything wrong, you're the one that's wrong. Well, then they then move to the persecutor role. Then you go to your girlfriend and you complain and you tell your girlfriend, oh, this is terrible, I can't believe how this friend's doing this and what's happening. And your girlfriend says, yeah, you're great. And you know what? He's really wrong. You're the good one. He's the bad one. So she moves into the rescuer role. And this creates a tremendous amount of drama. If this sounds familiar, it's the plot of every kind of drama, good book, great novel, romance movie, the kinds of drama that we see even on our television and our movies, which is why I think we get so hooked by these. They kind of externalize our inner process. So these dramas perpetuate themselves like in endless loops of dissatisfaction and upset with no real change because no one's taking real responsibility to make anything different. So let's see if you can identify. I'm going to give you a little quiz, and you just see if you can put yourself in this situation. Maybe you don't have the exact situation, but imagine a situation similar to this. Let's say you're together with your friend. It could be your boyfriend, or it could be your partner, or it could be your girlfriend, but I'll use your boyfriend right now. So you're with your boyfriend, and your boyfriend is in a hurry. He has to run off to an impromptu work meeting. He's just been called back to work. And he kisses you goodbye, and he rushes off to this work meeting, and he leaves his briefcase at your place. Now, and he does this all the time. He doesn't take what he needs. He leaves things. This is like the zillionth time this has happened. And you know that this is an important meeting and he really needs his briefcase. And yet he leaves things like that all the time. So what do? A, you chase after him and you yell and you nag and you kind of go ballistic for the umpteenth time. You say, I'm way too busy for this. And you'd lose your head if it wasn't attached. You always do this. That's A. B, you complain to your friends or your coworkers or your neighbors, anybody who will listen, even those that may not want to listen, about this happening over and over again. It's like, my boyfriend's like a child. That's B. C, you act like a martyr. Like, after everything I do for you, and you can't even remember your briefcase, what would you do without me? The next one, D, you blame. What's the matter with you? Can't you do anything right? You never remember anything. You do this all the time. E, you rescue. You interrupt your day, you take it to him again. I have to do this many, many times, and you justify it to yourself. Well, after all, he's busy, and he needs me to show him that I care. So, or maybe you do some combination. F is some combination of A, B, C, D, E, and more. Or G, you realize that you've been stuck in the drama triangle as a rescuer or a persecutor or in the drama somehow, and you share your frustration with him directly. You let him know, well, you do care about him. You don't want to be picking up after him and taking care of him all the time. You really would like him to take more responsibility so that you don't feel like you have to do this all the time. And you want to make clear that you're not going to do it again. You want him to get a new system for it. So if that happens again, the next time you tell him, I will not bring it to you. I want you to develop a plan or a system where something like this won't happen again, and that you mean it. So he understands that you mean it this time, and that you expect him to implement this new plan the next time that you see him. So he does. He thinks through what it'll take, and one thing that he does when he comes to visit you the next time, he puts his briefcase on the door handle that he's going to be leaving from, so he won't forget it. So when he leaves, he has to touch that briefcase before he opens the door so that he makes sure he takes it with him this time. It's a simple thing, but that last solution, that's the one that can get you out of the drama triangle. To actually say directly what you're feeling, what you hope for, what you'd like, and to really help take responsibility without blaming, without complaining, just straight talk to be able to shift something that's been bothering you. So think about what you usually do. Do you chase after somebody and nag them? Do you complain? Do you act like a martyr? Do you blame people? Or do you rescue? Any one of those things is not healthy for relationships. We all do this all the time. It's very, very common. All of us in our relationships tend to get caught in the drama triangle. So why is this such a problem? Because what happens is that if we keep in this drama, we never really meet our true needs. We never nothing changes. We just keep being upset about the same things over and over and over again. We can fight about the same things again and again and again, like endless loops of upset and dissatisfaction. And part of how the drama triangle works is, unfortunately, the minute you come across someone in one of the roles, which is most of us, most of the time, you naturally play the opposing role. So if you encounter a persecutor, or someone who's blaming you, or someone who's stern with you, you automatically might revert to the role of a victim and feel sorry for yourself and somewhat powerless. Or you could just be minding your own business and you come across someone who's feeling sorry for themselves, feeling like they're a victim, and your inner rescuer might go to help them in that moment. So it's not a problem that we'd want to help people and support people, but rescuers oftentimes take care of other people more than they take care of themselves. They're more aware of what other people's needs are, and they reach out to help and support them instead of looking at what they need in their own life. So it's not wrong to help, but when you're a rescuer, you're doing that unconsciously, reflexively, without rescuing yourself, without doing what you need and what you want and what satisfies you. And a rescuer can sniff out people to help, even making someone into a victim so they can help, because they feel better about themselves when they're helping someone. It makes them feel better and bigger. But it also gives the message to the person that they're helping that they're helpless, that they can't do it on their own. So it keeps the cycle going. And victims attract persecutors to enact this drama with them. And if you appear as a persecutor, you naturally will generate a victim. And then the victim will find a rescuer who could go on to be your future persecutor, and it can go on and on and on and on. And you don't even need other people to do this. It might be you've had a long day at work or school, and a long day, you're tired. And you come home and you just, I'm exhausted, I've worked so hard, I'm so tired, everybody's just wanted so much from me, and you feel like you don't have any control, and you're feeling sorry for yourself, and you're kind of in the victim role yourself. And then you say, oh, well, I deserve a break. And so you go into the kitchen and you overeat, and you do all these kinds of things to kind of rescue yourself, and you eat a big thing of ice cream, and you're just trying to take care of the victim. You're kind of rescuing yourself, but then you don't feel good about that. So then you start being mean to yourself. Oh, why did you do that? You're so stupid. You overeat again, and you persecute yourself. So then that cycle keeps going on, and things never change. So this is like the drama triangle creates this kind of counterfeit excitement. It feels like kind of alive, but it doesn't make real sparks in a relationship. It never results in satisfaction, and it never results in intimacy. Think of the drama triangle like roles, like all those roles of victim, persecutor, rescuer, like vampires that are like sucking your blood, stealing your aliveness. And we kind of keep these roles like in our life force, and these unproductive kinds of expenditures of energy, just draining from us. And these dramas are really very draining for us, because everybody stays stuck, and nothing ever changes when we're in the drama triangle. So that's one thing for us to remember. It's just we all do it, but it's not a place to stay. There's no real power in any one of the roles. And there's no appropriate use of responsibility. The victim absolves him or herself of responsibility and doesn't take responsibility for changing. The persecutor puts all the blame and responsibility on another person, and the rescuer takes on all the responsibility that's not theirs to take on. So nobody has any real power, and there's a wrong distribution of responsibility in the drama triangle. So let's look. How do we get out of the drama triangle so that we can have more satisfaction and have our life's work? Well, part of that is to take responsibility for yourself and your reactions. And you can use the rules of engagement that we use in the heart of the fight to help you find your way out of that. So let me give you a couple of examples about that. So let's look at a couple of the rules that can really help. One is nobody can give more than 50% of the blame in any interaction. Oh, if I can't, as a persecutor, I can blame someone, but I have to take my part of the responsibility as well. And the other is taking 100% responsibility for your own satisfaction and happiness, not expecting someone to rescue you, not taking responsibility for other people, but being responsible for your own satisfaction. These can really help. So let's look if we can go underneath those a little bit more to see how we can handle this, because we can break through the drama triangle and really step out of it. So if nobody takes more than 50% of the blame. Well, I can't be a persecutor because they give 100% of the blame then. But remembering it takes two people to do a tango. Both of you are in this together. Maybe your friend or your partner starts a conflict or starts an argument, but you have responsibility for how you respond to that. You might have a counterproductive response yourself that adds to the drama. Look at your part that you play in the drama. We're always a participant in the dramas around us. Even if the other person is working something through, we play a part in it. And if you find yourself blaming somebody else, it's your fault, you did this to me, remind yourself you can blame them, but only 50%. What's your part? What could you do differently? What could you say? How could you act that would actually help you unlock this and see your part of this drama playing out? The second one, taking 100% responsibility for your own satisfaction. It's not your partner's or your friends or your boss's or your coworkers' job to make you happy. It is yours alone. Of course, other people can support you and contribute to your happiness, but it's your responsibility to get your own needs met. And it's up to you to communicate to be able to make things happen rather than just blame someone. So look underneath the upset. What is it that you truly yearn for? What is it that you deeply desire underneath the upset? Usually a victim is really yearning to be seen, to be understood, to have someone understand what they're feeling, to feel like someone gets them, understands them, knows them. But that's the deeper yearning under the victim role. The victim often sometimes really yearns for comfort, but rather than asking for it directly or soliciting that or requesting it or providing it, they just hope that somebody will come take care of them rather than take responsibility for it. So really look at what is it you really yearn for? And maybe in relationship, you'd like your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your partner to be more attentive to you. Maybe you'd like them to take more responsibility in the chores that you have to do together. Or to maybe that you make all the arrangements all the time and you'd like them to make some of the arrangements so you don't have to do it all the time. But rather than blame or feel sorry for yourself or always rescuing, say that. Let them know, I yearn to matter. I'd really love to share this responsibility with you so that I know that you care about me. I enjoy doing these things in some ways. It's my way of showing that I'm caring for you. But I'm really hoping by doing that you would do the same back to me. But to ask for that directly, which is very, very important. So when you're dissatisfied or something that you want, what can you do about it? Can you ask for something? Can you tell them what you're needing? Can you tell them how you're feeling? And remember, nagging, blaming, and complaining isn't the way to get that done. And the third rule that can help with the drama triangle, they all can, but the third one is to assume goodwill. It's another rule of engagement that we have in the heart of the fight. So if you remember that even if you're upset and in the drama, wait a minute, this is my friend. This is someone that I care about. They care about me. They're not out to get me fully. We're just upset. We're just hurt. We're just angry. And we're playing this out. And also, don't give yourself a pass if you're shutting down during the conflict or an argument, or you don't say anything cruel or mean, but that your partner or your friend does. Sometimes being passive is passive-aggressive, and that can be just as mean or persecuting as someone who's more vocal or more vociferous. So your cold, silent treatment can be punishing and persecuting as well. So be aware of those parts. So make it a habit to assume goodwill and look for the positive in yourself and in your partner. Take responsibility for the things that you want and need in your life. Learn to really only assign 50% of the blame and ask directly for what you need and want, and learn the skills to increasingly do that so you can get out of the drama and into love and connection and intimacy and satisfaction instead. The drama triangle is a place we all visit, but we don't have to live there. When you find yourself stuck into it, look at what it is you really yearn for, take responsibility, use the rules of engagement so you can experience the satisfaction that you deserve. Take it through using these skills, and you can have more happiness, more empathy, more connection, more love, and more satisfaction in your life.